This week I'm off to Poundland to see how much food I can buy for £10 and how many days it can last me, eating only what I buy. That's right, this is a return to an old favourite, just I never did Poundland apparently. So here we are, the lost episode if you will. And if you like it, maybe I'll do the range, or Heron Foods. Now with every challenge there needs to be some rules, so here you are, all 2 of them. Rule number 1, oil, salt and pepper are allowed. This is just a bog standard rule that I have always had in these challenges so I can cook my food and season it. Rule number 2, each meal, if I wish, I'm allowed to add 1 teaspoon of a spice or condiment of my choice, just to zhuzh it up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting. And if you have a problem with either of those rules, then you're mean and I'm going to go cry in the corner. I always start my shopping the day before, so here I was in Chippenham of all places, where there just so happened to be a Poundland. We've got a while to try and live on this. There was way more food than I anticipated, and thinking of meals on the spot, you know, it can be quite tricky, so it does sometimes lead to decisions like this. They're already very good. Whack it in the bag, Bubba. So clearly this will be a very noodle-heavy episode. 5 packs is quite a lot. Good price though. I'm going back for the bananas. This has been tricky, but also not that tricky. What the fuck? Yeah, I feel like we've got a lot of decent stuff here. So we're just gonna buy it and hope for the best. So I bought it all and it came to £9.50. And before you complain, the bag was £1. So actually, we had 50p left. Not bad. That's purely because the eggs had no price tag, so I just kind of risked it and hoped that they would suffice. Luckily they did, and I could have probably gone back into the shop if I wanted to spend that extra 50p, but what's done is done. Hindsight is a thing.
Thank you, Captain Hindsight! Thank you!
So here's my haul, here's its price. It was time to sleep and start my day. My current prediction is 2 to 2.5 days. I'm hoping I can get 3 out of it. If I can get a few more, that would be good. Brekkie, fruit and yoghurt, which I don't think I've ever had in one of these challenges before, so already this is going to be like one of the healthier ones that I've done. So that's pretty good. Thanks, Poundland. Why did my voice go so high? Yeah, it was true, my breakfasts have all been relatively questionable in the previous £10 challenges. Let's take a look back at what I've done, shall we? So there were a few in there that were alright, but this felt much better for me. So of course I had a pan of chocolat on the side. Lunch was of course going to be, you guessed it, noodles! I did have 5 packs to use after all. I'm still very much figuring out all that we're gonna eat and make this week. I figured if I had noodles now I could get a gauge for the flavour of these ones before deciding what to do with them down the line in forthcoming days. And I also added an egg. I mean, it doesn't look the most appealing thing in the world, does it? It really didn't. Normally when I make these, and you'll see next time, I like to drain it because I don't like the amount of broth that you get in them. Kind of super noodly. It's not absolutely awful. It is a little bit bland. I definitely will be able to make something a little bit better than this right here. So there you go, what a thrilling venture it had been so far. Fruit and yoghurt, followed by noodles. I will admit, the soup at the bottom, it's kind of like chicken noodle soup, and that's quite nice. You know, there is something that I make in almost every single one of these £10 challenges, which I was still definitely able to do today. It's incredibly simple, it uses almost no ingredients, and anyone can make it out of pretty much nothing. Soup. So I'm going to make pea and ham soup. But I don't have ham, I've got garlic sausage, but I do have peas. So it's going to be a very basic one. We don't have any onion or anything like that to flavour it with, but obviously I am allowed a teaspoon of something. I'll have a teaspoon of garlic granules. Helps it a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe with a little bit of yoghurt, just a tiny bit to thicken it up. I know it's strawberry flavoured, but it's fine, it's fine. And we'll see what happens. So this was an easy one. I boiled my peas, popped all of them in a food processor alongside my teaspoon of choice garlic granules. I did think there was too much liquid here, so I drained off some of it before blitzing it up and getting this glorious green soup. To that I added some salt, some pepper, and to make this extra special, I cut up and fried off some of that garlic sausage to make it nice and crispy. There's one thing my regular viewers should have learned over the last year and a half. It's how to make a soup out of pretty much nothing. Here you go, I had a pea and ham soup, served with one of my toasted baguettes. Presentation, 2 out of 10. Taste though, that's a really nice pea and sausage soup. I was worried I wasn't going to have enough peas. Actually it was. We did the right thing, taking out some of the broth. Don't worry, you cannot taste any strawberry at all. Of course we have the bread, but we get a bit of dip action doing this. It just makes it a bit more of a substantial dinner for me. Well, that day one was done and I think I did alright, you know. All of that did fill me up, even if it didn't look the most filling, and a lot of it was actually pretty healthy, and it was a good amount of variety, which only means it's going to go downhill from here. Day 2 started, and look, I am not a morning person, especially when it's a Monday and I have to start work. So whilst I decided to cook for you, Morning Sam decided she was barely going to speak. One of the things I've made numerous times in these challenges, because I always seem to buy bananas, but that's because they're so damn cheap, but is banana pancakes. They are made so easily with pretty much nothing but mashed banana and a few breadcrumbs. So this morning I thought I'd do the same, but they'd be a bit different as my breadcrumbs came in the form of whizzing up a pan of chocolat, and I actually had an egg to bind it all together. This turned out so well, although I should have 100% made smaller ones, because doing one large one, when I came to flipping it, it didn't really work. It broke up into sort of 3 smaller pieces anyway. But nevertheless, it tasted amazing, and having it with some strawberry yogurt, it was a delicious way to have pretty much the same breakfast again. I'm just over a day in, and I don't think my body's agreeing with all of this food from Poundland. I have gone to the toilet to, should we say, expel it 3 times this morning. So I think I'm going to take it kind of easy at lunch, have something, I don't know, I think it's the garlic sausage, to be honest with you. Look, if you want to make this worthwhile for me, and I'd appreciate if you did, then you should probably subscribe, so at least I'm putting my gut through this for a reason. Also, those of you wondering, our lovely plant friend here, his name? Planthony. Planthony won with well over 400 likes. It's a great name. Lunchtime was simple. I had some bread and I had some eggs, so I made some scrambled eggs with just a teaspoon of chilli. There you go. Bit of salad with it. Feel like that makes it a little bit healthier. I think chilli was the right addition here. And I mean, what's not to love about this? Sure, it could have used some butter or a little bit of sauce. Could do with some butter, could do with some sauce. The chilli is nice though. But it was still filling, filled with protein from the egg, and healthy thanks to the salad. Also, I know some of you will be thinking that when I turn the camera off, I'll probably add stuff to it. All the stuff that I just said, sauce and butter and stuff. No. When I do these challenges, your man commits. Your boy commits to these things. Following lunch, it was time for a dog walk. Red lightning! Hello. Where I was contemplating what more I could make. I had finite ingredients and didn't really just want to keep repeating myself, which is very much the challenge with these challenges. You know, no one wants to watch a 15-minute video of me eating fruit and yogurt, followed by noodles, followed by fruit and yogurt, followed by noodles. You get my drift. I'm trying to think about this logically, and there's not actually loads more that we can do on top of what I plan on having for dinner tonight, which, you guessed it, is noodles with some garlic sausage and a bit of egg. The second I picked up those noodles, I knew this was going to be a very noodle-heavy challenge. Been a year. I forgot how hard these challenges actually are. I mean, to be fair, those are the ingredients that I've got left. Fruit, yogurt, noodles. So you're probably just going to be watching me eating all of those in different various forms, but you know, if you're still sticking around, then cheers. Anyway, here's me making more noodles. Now you're probably sat there thinking, Sam, that looks awful. And you wouldn't be wrong, I agree with you, it does not look great. Cut the egg in half and I was 30 seconds away from having it runny. That's a shame. Pretty tasty. The sausage, when it's fried off like this, 10 times better than the smaller, crispier bits that we had yesterday. Couple that with a bit of egg and a bit of crispy salad to go with it. And I'm glad I had the salad to put on the side. The soy sauce goes a long way to helping this here. Do you know what? The salad is so nice with this. So I'm going to add more. It's actually really good. So I've made it 2 days and day 3 was finally here, and I tell you now, something wasn't right. I'm calling the sausage. There was just something that wasn't sitting well in my tummy, was not agreeing with me, and I thought yesterday morning was bad, but I am genuinely concerned for myself at this point. Luckily, I didn't really have much food left, so it was time to just sort of plow on and get through with it. But just to be nice to myself and due to the morning that I did have my bananas and yogurt with some pain au chocolat for breakfast. Although this time, I heated the pain au chocolat up, and they were fab. I've had croissants like these before. I've never toasted them, air fried them, whatever you want to say. They're 10 times better. 100% do that. We're running out of things to do. I've got a slightly different recipe that Carolina found that I'm going to try for lunch. Following that, we'll see where it takes us. My stock count now consisted of 2 bananas, some peas, a bit of sausage, half a bag of salad, 2 packs of noodles, a bit of yogurt, 2 pain au chocolat, and an egg. That sounds a lot, but it's really not. I decided the best course of action was kind of just chuck it all together to make a couple of different dishes. So I haven't got loads of ingredients left, but I can see 2 pretty nice looking dishes that we can do. First up, I'm going to make our savoury. Kind of similar to what we've done before, only I'm going to do it a slightly bit different. Firstly, in a bowl, we're going to crush up sesame oil, goes in the pan for cooking. We're then going to fry off the last little bit of our sausage alongside our ramen noodles. Now, seeing as I'm into the massive art of multitasking, 1 croissant, pain au chocolat, torn up into little chunks. And then we're going to use our remaining 2 bananas, and I'm simply just going to layer banana slices on the top. Now that's just going to go in the fridge, and later we'll cook it. Add some water. We're then going to add our peas, get these cooked down and off. Final egg going in. Before finally chucking in the rest of the salad, acting it a little bit like a cabbage mix, and we're going to cook it down. And my teaspoon of choice, actually, something I always keep in the fridge, a bit of gochujang. This low-key looks like the best meal that I've made so far this entire challenge. This is very much the best meal I've had so far this entire challenge. A good way to use the rest of these, and it doesn't feel so much like a noodle dish. Using the rest of the salad like this is great rather than just having a salad on the side. Even the sausage does not taste bad like this. If you don't have gochujang, something like sriracha would have worked. One last thing to cook, and I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. Honestly, I should have made this way sooner. I genuinely think this is possibly the best and potentially the most nutritious meal that I have had so far this week, other than maybe the pea soup. This left me with my banana bake, which I whacked in the oven for sort of 20 minutes or so, smothered it in the rest of the strawberry yogurt, and my oh my, it was different. A different way to eat the same thing again, but it was really nice. It was. I don't know what I would call this. Strawberry, banana, and chocolate all together, baked. Kind of like a Neapolitan, I suppose. I mean, you can't go wrong with baked banana, gooey chocolate, bread, and strawberry. But sort of a dessert instead of breakfast. Either way, I know it's very tasty. I'm probably going to eat this whole thing. I don't know what you'd call this. Sort of a variation on bread pudding, I suppose. Layered with bananas. I don't know, you tell me. Give it a name. Leave it in the comments. Tell me what you'd call this strange dish. Now look, after that, I'm simply left with 1 pack of noodles. Right now, I'm all noodled out. But I could have had it, and if I did eat it, then technically, that would have been dinner. And I would have lasted a whole whopping 3 days, which for these challenges is pretty good. So 3 felt pretty solid effort. Cheers, Poundland. Anyway, I'm off to the toilet again because that last piece of sausage has absolutely finished me off. So I'll see you all next week, where I'm probably going to eat some food.